Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at 11 p.m.
Now on News 6, midnight will soon be last call in one of our biggest local cities. The reason and how bars can pay extra to stay open late.
A local mayor under fire, why the entire city council just voted to ask the governor to remove him from office. And could Orange County quit cooperating with ICE? What has local leaders rethinking how the jail handles people accused of being here illegally?
But we start now at 10 tonight with people struggling to cope with flooding from today's storms.
It's very frustrating, and my mom's an older lady, and she's went through this so much.
Her mom's home was deluged with flooding. Many compare this to the aftermath of a hurricane, and she's not alone.
While that rain is starting to fizzle out and moving out, it is still coming down hard in some places. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas pinpoints the rain for you in just a minute. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Austin. Of course, there's no tropical system causing today's flooding, just days of soggy, stormy weather.
Yeah, the Red Cross came out to help an entire apartment complex. That complex is near the intersection of US 1 and Irwin Avenue, a little north of Mims. News 6 community correspondent Troy Campbell is in Brevard County speaking to the people affected.
Right now we're standing at Irwin Avenue in US 1 in Mims, and that's because if you take a look behind me, you can see this apartment complex has flooded. We spoke to the manager of the complex who says she's thankful everyone made it out okay. What happened here today?
Well, basically it flooded at about 11 o'clock this morning.
Sue Gothorpe works for the management company for this 10-unit apartment complex along US 1. You can see the building completely surrounded by water.
We're just going to have to clean up a mess, basically. And, you know, we just got to work out what to do.
And have we seen the extent of the damage?
No, not yet, because we haven't really been in all the units yet.
Goldthorpe says the damage is likely extensive. What can you tell me that the Red Cross responded to today?
We responded to some severe flooding in this area. I also live locally in this area and was very well aware of the damages that were happening and the issues that were going on.
Kathy Burkett with the American Red Cross says she was out helping others, despite her own home in Mims suffering damage as well.
Had some damages to my home from the water coming down. It did flooded 2 rooms of my house, but our primary focus and mission is to help those that are affected, and that's why we're out here doing this.
And just down the street is this home. The homeowner says the water got within inches of their front door. And you can take a look. They say this is a result of 5 hours of water pumping.
It's very frustrating, and my mom's an older lady, and she's went through this so much, and it just worries her to death, and it's constant. Whenever it starts raining here, because there's nowhere for this water to go, it really is a stress on her.
Sherry Keene says her 78-year-old mother has lived in this house since the 1960s and says the flooding has gotten worse.
The only drainage that we have, it goes to US 1, which is what, a block from here, and then it stops. So when this gets full, there's nowhere else for it to go but inside homes. It's a shame.
And people who live out here say this area did flood during Hurricane Ian, but never during an afternoon rainstorm. In Brevard County, Troy Campbell, News 6.
All right, we want to get you right over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas with what is actually going on out there tonight. Jonathan.
Yeah, and we're mostly on the quieter side. We do have a couple of loud rumbles of thunder, though, kind of paralleling I-95. This is all lifting to the north. Now, the disturbance from earlier this afternoon, that's now pushed back over towards the Big Bend, towards the Florida Panhandle, at least. That's the cluster of thunderstorms from today. The area of low pressure is actually hanging out closer to Gainesville and Lake City. There's not much going on around the low-level center of that system, but it did help to pull up more moisture again, as we were talking about earlier tonight, with the heating of the day helped to get more late night storms rolling. So these are now kind of sliding towards Daytona Beach, Ponce Inlet, back into Edgewater, again kind of working its way up I-95. Give it another hour, give or take, and then most of the rain should be out of central Florida, closer to St. Augustine at this point. We're also watching a couple of light showers around Pearson. Again, just watch out for the lightning. A few strikes out there. There's nothing strong, but that rain is coming down at a good clip tonight, and the wind is a little gusty as these are moving through, guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. New at 10 tonight, with concerns growing about how to make downtown Kissimmee safer. City commissioners voted unanimously tonight to roll back a last call by a couple of hours to midnight. Now, this highly debated last call change comes with a big asterisk. Bars can keep serving after midnight if they pay a special fee. The changes come in the wake of several shootings, including one in early May that left 2 people hurt. Bar owners, of course, say this change will hurt their bottom line, while people looking for a beer might look elsewhere outside of city limits. These changes only apply to the downtown community redevelopment area. To keep serving from midnight until 2, bars and restaurants have to apply for a $250 annual permit. Those applications will be reviewed and issued by the Kissimmee police chief. The chief has the authority to temporarily suspend the permit if there are noise complaints or other violations. Gets suspended twice, the permit is revoked. The new rules take effect October 1st.
Also in Osceola County, school leaders have voted to rewrite the rules for cell phones and students. In a unanimous vote, the school board agreed tonight students can keep their phones in their bags, but they must be silenced and cannot use them on campus. The restrictions also apply to other devices like smartwatches and earbuds. Cell phone use is not banned during the school-wide emergency, and there are also medical exemptions.
Also new tonight, 5 years after a deadly shooting outside the Florida Mall, the family of Salathis Melvin has settled their lawsuit against the Orange County deputy who pulled the trigger. Back in August of 2020, deputies say they were questioning someone who was with Melvin when Melvin took off running across the parking lot. Investigators claim he reached for his waistband, and that's when they say Deputy James Montiel shot and killed him. Montiel was cleared of any wrongdoing by FDLE and the sheriff's office. Still, Melvin's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit. This week, federal court records show they reached a settlement. The details were not disclosed.
Developing tonight in Flagler County, the Palm Coast City Council is asking Governor Ron DeSantis to remove their mayor from office. It has been a rocky road for Mayor Mike Norris. Council members first submitted a vote of no confidence in him, claiming he violated the city charter back in April. The mayor took the city to court over the dispute last month, and people say they are just tired of the drama.
We should have taken you guys to court, not the city, because we paid for it. You guys owe us.
I know you guys have hurt feelings. I know you have said things to each other that you should have never said out loud. You need to move forward.
Every city council member except Mayor Norris moved to formally request Governor DeSantis remove him. They also issued a second censure calling the mayor's behavior toxic and a clear and present danger to the community and staff. If the governor does not remove Norris, he is set to hold his seat until fall of 2028.
A Volusia County man is locked up tonight with no chance to pay bond after police say he tried to poison his ex-girlfriend with bleach. The woman says she went to Edwin Guzman's house to pick up her things yesterday after the two had broken up. She brought her things back to her uncle's house in Deltona. That includes a bottle of vodka. You see officers sniffing it here in this body cam footage. The uncle had suggested he and his niece take a drink to calm down. But as soon as he took a sip, he spit it out, said it tasted and smelled like bleach. Deputies had the woman call Guzman to ask about it, say they heard him admit to putting bleach in the bottle and other things his ex had picked up. Guzman is now charged with poisoning food or water. That's a felony. He will be held without bond at least until he faces a judge. Because the two lived together before this happened, it qualifies as a domestic violence incident. So if you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, there's some help out there. Call the Harbor House 24-hour crisis hotline. The number's on your screen, 407-886-2856.
Orange County leaders continue to debate the extent of their cooperation with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. Today's commission meeting put a spotlight on the mounting pressure from the public as advocates encourage local leaders to sever their ties with ICE. News 6's Orlando community correspondent Mike Valenti has more from the Orange County Jail, which is at the center of this story.
A long-standing agreement on the books between the feds and Orange County stipulates that Orange County Jail help house federally charged or convicted individuals. In 2011, that agreement was changed to include housing people with an immigration hold from ICE or CBP.
Today is a test of our moral fiber.
It is not the responsibility of Orange County to perform ICE's job for them.
This is going to come to haunt Orange County in the future if you don't stop it.
In impassioned remarks during public comment Tuesday, advocates for immigrants' rights urged commissioners to cancel the Intergovernmental Service Agreement.
Cancel the IGSA This agreement is not required.
I'm a Navy veteran, and I'm here to urge you to end the IGSA contract with ICE.
While canceling the IGSA, which was established in 1983, does not appear to be on the table, commissioners did show an interest in exploring the possibility of modifying it.
Let's amend this IGSA and remove the immigration portion. I don't think that anybody here is saying that, we shouldn't participate in, with the marshal in some regard.
No vote was taken Tuesday, but commissioners did give the county attorney's office the green light to engage the federal government in negotiations that could have implications for their future relationship. Mayor Jerry Demings added that he wants the IGSA to include higher reimbursement rates for housing federal inmates. And on a separate agreement, he is unwilling to sign an addendum that would see jail personnel transport those held on immigration detainers to ICE-approved detention facilities, like Alligator Alcatraz. You won't sign the addendum regarding transportation under any circumstances? And that's the 287G.
What I'm saying is that I do not intend to sign an agreement that will require our correctional personnel to leave the Orange County Jail and transport federal inmates to some other detention facility within the state of Florida.
You don't anticipate repercussions to that from the federal government?
I have no way of knowing that, so without having a conversation,
Again, no vote was taken Tuesday, and a timeline regarding potential negotiations with the federal government is unclear. I'm your Orlando community correspondent, Mike Valenti, News 6.
A Florida teen out for a swim ends up fighting off an alligator.
It had let go and then grabbed again and then dragged me underneath the water and then shook me around.
Ahead on News 6, hear how she got away from a 10-foot gator and how she's doing tonight.
These are Floridians building a product that is known throughout the world.
Next at 10, I'll bring you inside the local business proving American manufacturing is doing pretty well, even in our area.
And don't forget, you can watch local news and weather 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the News 6 Plus streaming app. It is free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
You're watching News 6 at 10. We are live on a Tuesday night covering Lockhart, Melbourne, and all of Central Florida.
Now at 10, you hear it all the time. Manufacturing in the United States is dead. It's all been shipped overseas.
But you might be surprised to learn that's not entirely true. I recently visited a luxury RV manufacturer in Sanford to ask how they're surviving in this current economy of inflation, tariffs, and labor shortages.
When we walked in, we were just blown away.
It's a big day for Dexter and Sarah Jo Osteen.
I got chill bumps realizing this is our best.
The couple from Alachua is figuring out the ins and outs of an RV they ordered a year and a half ago.
This is one of our favorite features. We enjoy sitting and watching our TV and drinking our coffee in the morning.
That TV just appeared out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere.
This mansion on wheels was pieced together in a 120,000 square foot facility in Sanford. Millennium Luxury Coaches defies the stereotype that Florida is not a manufacturing state.
This is homegrown. These are Floridians building a product that is known throughout the world, that is known for quality, that is known for excellence.
These RVs range in price from $2 million to $2.7 million. Every piece of fabric and every material is hand-picked by the customer. Even the couches and cabinets are custom-made inside this building.
My customers are willing to pay the price for something that was made here. The fact that my customer can talk to the cabinet maker for his motorhome is invaluable, and that's appreciated. That is true craftsmanship.
Nelson, a U.S. Army veteran, started this business with $500 in his bank account 25 years ago. Now, his team of 110 employees makes 12 to 15 of these pricey coaches per year, and he's navigating a complicated climate.
So you're dealing with tariffs, you're dealing with inflation, you're dealing with labor shortages. As a manufacturer in Central Florida, what would you say is the biggest challenge you face?
Biggest challenge right now, our workforce is aging out. You know, I'm having a lot of folks retire. You cannot replace a cabinet maker today.
Figueroa says he pays his workforce 30 to 40% more since COVID. Inflation has caused his prices to rise, and tariffs on imports from places like Italy have become a headache.
A company like ours is a target for other companies to take advantage of.
Still, customers like the Osteens are lining up.
You have your air fryer, microwave, convection oven all in one.
To spend their retirement in one of these palaces on wheels.
We're looking forward to another adventure.
So it's an interesting business he runs. He tells me tariffs do not apply to Millennium's biggest import. There's a steel bus shell from Canada they get. It costs a whopping $950 grand. Other suppliers don't make it easy to track if rising prices are caused by tariffs, inflation, or if it's just greed. He has to try to figure all that out with thousands of different parts in each vehicle.
It seems like he has figured it out.
He's doing pretty well, 25 years in.
Right in Sanford. Well, tonight, a Florida teen is sharing how she survived a gator attack 3 weeks ago while swimming in a creek in Okaloosa County.
I had felt something latch onto my leg, and I didn't know what it was at first, so I just turned my body around and started punching it in the head.
15-year-old Summer Highnote says at first the gator let go, but then grabbed her again and dragged her under. She eventually broke free when a friend came to help.
My friend, he came up to me and I was like, "Is my leg still there?" And he was like, "Yes, you're fine, it's not that bad. We have to get up." He's like coming up from behind. So he had to pick up me and my other friend because my other friend was freaking out and run up the bank onto because it's higher than the rest and the gator couldn't really climb up, so he had to pick both of us up at the same time and run up there.
We all need that friend.
Yeah.
Based on the size of the bite, trappers think the gator was at least 10 feet long. When asked what others should do if faced with a similar situation, Summer said, just start praying.
And start punching too. That worked for her.
So glad that she's gonna be okay.
Amazing. Well, in just a couple hours, SpaceX will be launching the competition for the first time. You may recall Amazon is starting its own satellite internet service. This new rival to SpaceX's Starlink is called Project Kuiper. You may recall an Atlas V launched the second batch of those satellites into orbit from the Cape about 3 years ago. The many satellites are assembled at a $140 million plant next to Kennedy Space Center. Amazon has booked at least 80 more launches.
Yeah, it all goes as planned, SpaceX will send up 24 more Kuiper satellites overnight at 2:18 from the Cape. They have a less than 30-minute launch window, though. Provided the launch goes well, in a few hours, there will be 78 Kuiper satellites in orbit. That's compared to about 7,900 Starlink satellites.
Got some catching up to do,
Yeah, a
don't
little
they?
bit. Amazon needs about 3,000 in orbit to kick off its internet service. They're getting there slowly but surely. Remember, Amazon used to sell books.
Right.
Let's remember that.
Now they're sending up satellites.
Exactly.
All right, Jonathan Kagas, I'm still seeing quite a bit of activity behind you, and it's 10:20 at night.
Little bit, yeah. That's because of the East Coast sea breeze, delayed start because of the extra clouds and downpours. Showing you the future radar tonight. Pretty much right on schedule here, working its way kind of the eastern half of Central Florida again. Some lightning strikes just around Crescent City to the west of Palm Coast tonight. Flagler Beach, we're dry. We're watching that cell slide to your west. Some light showers trying to work its way right up the beach from Ormond Beach into Daytona Beach. A nice healthy downpour. No lightning in Daytona right now. All that stuff is kind of weakened for us this evening. We'll take it back down closer to Leesburg where we have our next downpour. I'm going to stop the loop here and just show you exactly where everything is. Also working its way up towards I-75. Coleman, we have a downpour about 15 minutes away from you. Right now, no lightning, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got a couple of lightning strikes to develop here. Same around Leesburg as these lift from south to north tonight. So again, just be mindful of that. Pinpoint Weather app, News 6 Weather app. Again, great opportunity to make sure you're watching the lightning strikes nearby. As far as the disturbance that brought us all the rain, especially in the north half of Central Florida, there it is, firing off lightning tonight, skirting across the North Gulf Coast, leaving us alone. It will help to pull in some extra tropical moisture again tomorrow, still out of the southwest Atlantic, and that's just going to help in getting those extra afternoon thunderstorms rolling once again. Pinpointing that timeline for you here. There's the overnight hours. Most of us dry things out over the next hour or two. Then we're nice and dry to start. We do have some downpours close to the coast. A few may sneak on shore late tomorrow morning. They are nothing to write home about, certainly nothing significant. Once we get into the early afternoon, we start to fire up a few more thunderstorms, and then things quickly try to focus on the west side of Central Florida. That's because of that airflow, again, right from the Atlantic over the Florida Peninsula, then into the Gulf. That's 7 o'clock with most of the activity trying to favor, again, areas west of Orlando. A few of these, just like tonight, could linger as we get towards that 9 to 10 o'clock hour. Forecast for tomorrow at 60% rain chances. A little bit warmer because we get a little more sunshine to start. We're back to 89 in Melbourne, 87 at the Cape. We are at 91 degrees in Leesburg. Now look at your pinpoint accurate 7-day forecast. That actually has rain chances going down a little bit. I'm forecasting a 60% shot for storms on Thursday, 40% on Friday. Same deal going into the start of the weekend, and then those gradually start to tick back up again into the early stages of next work week.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Well, a UCF baseball player is going to the major leagues.
So what's it like to be drafted into the pros?
As soon as I hung up the phone, I broke down in tears in my dad's arms and my mom's arms and my sister, Daniel, like just crying, a lot of tears.
Next at 10, he shares his tears of joy at the opportunity of a lifetime.
I'm your Orange County community correspondent, Jana Manahal, and I had the opportunity to sit down with standout draft pick Antonio Jimenez, his family, as well as assistant coach Norberto Lopez to talk about the MLB draft and the future of college baseball.
Antonio Jimenez is one of 5 UCF baseball players to get drafted into Major League Baseball this year. He shared with me what that moment of getting drafted felt like.
As soon as I hung up the phone, I broke down in tears in my dad's arms and my mom's arms and my sister, Daniel, like just crying, a lot of tears, just happiness and pure joy with all the work and hardships and trials and tribulations it took me through to get here. And
UCF has a 34-year-long history of having players signed to the MLB.
Number 13, Antonio Jimenez.
Coach Norberto Lopez shares his thoughts on that legacy.
It means a lot to us because it's telling us that our programs are working. We really make everything to the individual. We don't try to cookie cut what we do with our guys.
Antonio was picked up in the 3rd round by the New York Mets. His family shares that he was not always the confident draft pick that we see today.
He had some obstacles that he was able to overcome.
So to see him come to, to where he's at today in that moment, it was just a sign of like,
So seeing him grow up, starting at 3 years old, and then now fulfilling his dream of wanting to be a professional has been, nothing short of the experience.
So the 5 players who have been drafted are now on their way to sign contracts, but their success comes as a new name, image, and likeness agreement took effect July 1st, allowing Division I schools to pay student athletes.
Do you think that they are more likely to go after the money than they are the passion of the sport?
I hope we find guys that care more about that than the money.
But no matter the payments, Coach Norberto and Antonio are thankful to the passionate fan base.
The people in Oviedo, the support that we get, that they come to our games and they're here all the time. I mean, on a regular game, we average 2,000 to 3,000. And then when we play big games, you're talking about we pack the house.
And I'm super grateful for all the fans that would come out and support us. And it really helps us do our job a lot better.
In Orange County, your community correspondent, Jana Manahal, News 6.
You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus.
Have yourself a great night. We'll see you at 11.